Hi, welcome to Rise, Heal, and Grow. I'm Leah M. Hill. This podcast is a production of Apollo Sunrise Center, which is a health, wellness, and spiritual retreat center in Merrimac, Massachusetts. On this show, we shine the light on those who nurture wellness and inspire positive change. My guest today is Jess Barber of Be Well Hypnotherapy and Healing. Jess is a certified hypnotherapist, a life coach, a Reiki master, and an NLP practitioner. And not only that, she's also a practitioner and an instructor at Apollo Sunrise Center. Welcome, Jess.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. We want to talk about hypnotherapy today. That's a hot topic these days. So tell us first how you got into this, how you got into hypnotherapy.
Yeah, it was totally by accident. So when I gave up drinking alcohol, a lot of old stuff started coming up, a lot of trauma. A lot of old patterns, a lot of stuff that I had really just pushed down. And I stumbled into energy work first. So I started working in Reiki.
Okay.
And that just it opened me up. Everything changed once I started dealing with energy, working with energy. And somehow along the way, I stumbled into hypnotherapy and I said, you know what, it just felt right. I wanted to learn more about it. So I signed up to get certified and I took this really intensive class and had some incredible experiences.
Wow.
And I loved it so much that I took the class all over again.
Really?
Yes.
You took the same class twice?
I took it
because
twice.
You loved it.
I loved it, but there's just so much to learn.
Yeah.
And so I just felt like I wanted to take in as much as I could.
Right.
And for me, during those certifications, I was in this incredible demonstration. It was a live demo. And she asked me if I wanted to participate, and we tackled a dream that had been coming up for me.
Okay.
So this dream was really traumatic. It was a dream of my son, and I kept having this reoccurring situation where he would fall from this very tall building.
Oh my gosh.
And I could relay it word for word. I remembered every piece of it, and it evoked such strong emotion in me that every time I would talk about it, I would start to cry.
Oh, wow.
And it just brought up this fear, like something really bad was going to happen to him. And so in this live demo in my certification, she brought me into the dream. We tackled the dream, we rewired it. And now I can talk about the dream without crying, shaking, or having that feeling. And, the thing about that is what gives a thought power is the emotion tied to it. So once we cleared that, I was good.
That's fantastic. That is so powerful for people who might be really struggling with nightmares. I myself had many nightmares as a child from being intuitive, and I still have sleep issues now. I still have insomnia issues, but if I had a tool like that available to me, so it kind of makes sense because hypnotherapy works with the subconscious mind, which is what's going on when you're dreaming, right? You're using your subconscious mind, but that's fantastic that you can actually rewire it, like you said, or reprogram it to make it so so you don't have the dream anymore, or so that if you do have the dream, it's not scary.
Right. You become almost disassociated from the emotion of it, right?
Okay.
So it's almost like you're watching it like a movie.
Gotcha.
You know, it's not impacting you on the inside.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's so powerful.
It is.
So let's talk about hypnotherapy because as we know, many people are afraid of hypnotherapy and the whole topic of it. They're afraid of being hypnotized. They're afraid that someone's going to make them cluck like a chicken or something similar, make them do something that they don't want to do. How can you explain that, or, or
oh my gosh, I blame television and stage hypnosis for that. And there is a time and a place for, things like stage hypnosis. But the work I do is very different. It's very gentle. It's very loving. And I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do or talk about anything that's uncomfortable for you. In my sessions, my goal is to bring you into a really deep state of relaxation. So much so that a lot of people leave my sessions and they say, I don't think I've ever been that relaxed.
Wow.
So it really just, brings your nervous system to a calm place. It settles your mind, settles your body, and brings you into what's called a trance. So I bring you into this trance. I talk directly to your subconscious mind. But if at any point you're experiencing discomfort, you can come out of it on your own free will.
Really?
You're not locked in.
Okay. So that's, I think, important for people to know because they might be feeling like they're giving up control or self-control to the practitioner.
Right. And I'm not implanting anything into your mind that we haven't already discussed. We talk a lot about your goals, about your intentions, about what you want to get out of hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
So anything that I'm speaking to you about, we've already talked about, you've already agreed on. So yes, I'm not going to make you bark like a dog or cluck like a chicken.
Yeah, I just had to say that because a lot of people, that's their perception.
Yes.
And then working with you, people actually remember what they've experienced, right? It's not like they're asleep or
no, you're not asleep. Hypnosis is not sleep. You're in what's called a deep trance. You're still aware. You might not remember all of our session. I take detailed notes.
Okay.
And there have been times where I've recorded sessions so people can watch them back and kind of get the information that they're looking for. But yeah, you're pretty much aware. And if you feel foggy, which happens, we go over everything together. We talk through it and let them, kind of let them know what went down.
Right.
Yeah.
So this sounds like something that's like a process or a journey. It's not, you can just like, I don't know, trigger it or something like that.
Right.
Like I'm thinking of my own fear of spiders. I'm like, does it mean that I could be friends with a spider after a session with you? Or is it more that, that it would take a little time?
I think it would take a little time. My rule of thumb is if you're coming, it depends on what you're coming to me for, but a lot of things take 3 to 6 to 8 sessions, really.
Yeah.
It just depends on what it is. Everybody's different. We all have a different experience. And my favorite thing is people say to me, I can't be hypnotized. You're my favorite.
I was going to ask that too.
Yeah.
What do you say to people like that?
I say, you think that, but maybe you should give it a try. That's my favorite person to work with because I think they're always pleasantly surprised. Yeah.
Right. And who else is like your typical client or your best client? Do you have types of people that you work with or types of issues that you specialize in?
Yeah. So for me, it's women like me. It's women that felt or feel stuck in their life that are, maybe they're battling different fears or phobias. Maybe they just can't get, the courage to ask for that promotion at work. Maybe they're concerned about their, their marriage and how they're showing up in their life or whatever it is. There's a variety of things, but it's really mainly women. I love to work with women because I understand them. And I really want to help them get out of that stuck place.
Yeah. So this could be, I just want, maybe if you can give some examples of like some issues that either you have helped people with, or like I gave my example of fear of spiders, but I'm sure there's other things like the dreams, or what other kind of things, or, people think about losing weight, is this, can I be hypnotized and lose weight?
Yeah, so I'm not a typical hypnotherapist in the sense that you're going to come to me and you're like, I want to deal with my smoking cessation.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
I'm very much an intuitive healer. So you come to me, you might come to me because you want to quit smoking, but we're going to tackle things at the root, right? So we're going to talk to the subconscious and figure out what is it that's keeping you stuck to smoking cigarettes? What is that emotional bond or tie that you have to the act of smoking? When did it start? So we figure that out. We figure out, when you started smoking, why you started smoking. There's always a why, right? Maybe it was peer pressure.
Yeah, there's a why. Okay.
Maybe it was peer pressure. Maybe it was just boredom. Maybe whatever that is. And we kind of go deeper. And sometimes I find with my clients, we're clearing it out energetically as well. So I do all the things. It's an all-encompassing session.
Yeah, so that's where it's different, you're saying, from traditional hypnotherapy or hypnosis where they want to just quit smoking and they go through these steps and maybe what do you call it, reprogramming, the thought process of the smoking the cigarettes and the drive to smoking cigarettes, where what you do, your approach is entirely different because you're also intuitive.
Right, so my sessions never go as planned. I'm not reading from a script. You might go to certain hypnotherapists, and there's nothing wrong with this, that read from a program, that read from a script. They have 3 sessions, they're reading through it and following along. I don't do that.
Okay.
I don't know where the subconscious is going to take us.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm very open to what comes up.
Yeah.
And sometimes I can feel inside of me, inside of my body, there's this knowing that, what they're trying to say, they're not able to get to. So we go a little bit deeper until we experience what it is that causes them to be stuck in this situation.
Wow. And that must be an incredible feeling when they identify it, whatever it was, the trigger, the stuckness, and then release it. And then they leave you and they're totally relaxed, but having released this experience or this thought whatever it might be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I tell my clients all the time, it's not a one and done type of situation. You know, again, I think that at least 3 sessions is important.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you also offer past life regression with your hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
What is that about?
Oh,
How does
past
that
life
work?
regression sessions are my favorite.
Really? Okay.
Very similar to how I operate with my hypnosis sessions. But we're tackling, you know, you might come to me and say, I have a fear or a phobia that I don't know where it comes from.
Okay.
I had a woman come to me that she had this fear that her children were going to get taken away.
Oh.
And it was this deep-rooted fear, and she couldn't figure it out. She said, I just don't know what it is. I'm always in fear of my children being taken away. And when we went into a past life regression session, we did 4 lives, and in every life,
Wow.
something had happened where her children were taken away.
Oh my gosh.
So acknowledging those lives, seeing them for what they are, clearing those lives, honoring those lives,
Yeah.
and really bringing peace and healing into the body through
Right.
energy work. She left and she said, I haven't ever felt this good. I've never felt this release, this weight has been lifted.
Oh my gosh.
was
I can just
amazing.
imagine how powerful that is with an issue that this person had been struggling with her entire life, or since she had the kids. And maybe that was what triggered it. Yeah, she had kids in this lifetime, and that triggered all the fear from the previous lifetimes. How powerful that is.
So powerful.
So this would have been different from someone who has any kind of fear. I don't know, fear of heights or something. This is more like it was a specific fear that she had that was recurring, and she couldn't explain it. Is that what makes it like you
Yeah,
kind of think maybe it's a past life thing?
I think so. Yeah. I think I've actually had sessions where they were for, say, a fear. And
Yep.
then I think, you know, as we get deeper, it's like, no, I think we might need to go into a past life. Sometimes my typical hypnosis sessions end up moving into a past life. I mean,
Oh.
the subconscious brings forward what it's supposed to, what needs to be healed and what needs to be cleared.
Right.
So again, I don't have a rule book. I don't have a script. I'm not following an outline. It is what it is. Your
Right.
subconscious is going to speak to me. And whatever comes of it, I'm ready for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so powerful. Oh my gosh. That's great. Because I also believe in past lives as well. I've had many experiences of my own where I've had flashbacks from past lives. They weren't all that pretty. They were sometimes pretty rough, but I've had some, many, many past lives. And sometimes I think about that, maybe the fear of spiders, like I mentioned the example of that. Is that from one past life that I experienced where I had something scary happen to me, or 4 or more past lives, which is even more powerful? But it's incredible how our soul, right, is our soul that really remembers this. That's our soul that is remembering these traumatic experiences from these previous lifetimes.
Right.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and I believe that, our soul continues to bring forward what it is that we don't acknowledge and heal. So, yeah, you might have multiple lives that you're carrying these situations, with you until you recognize them and you're able to clear them.
Right. And I think it's also interesting because when I talk to people about their past lives, they might think that, I don't know, maybe they experienced the issue themselves. Or for example, someone said to me, I think I sank, I went down in the Titanic. I have this great fear of the ocean, fear of ships. And, I went down in the Titanic. And when we, talked about it, we said, well, maybe it was not the Titanic, but a similar time frame, different ship, I don't know, different experience. Did you find that? Like, would someone be able to come to you and say, I don't really know what it is, but
Absolutely.
I don't know where to start.
Absolutely. We set the intention of what it is, and that's the other thing, starting out with these sessions, let's set the intention of what you're trying to get at. What are you trying to learn and experience? I have clients who, recognize that they were aliens in one of their past lives, and they have this whole story that they never expected.
So otherworldly.
Otherworldly.
Oh, wow. Multidimensionals, I call them.
Yeah,
Multidimensionals.
yeah.
That is
Those are fun.
fantastic.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
And so even if the person experienced something scary in that past life experience, with you, it again takes on that observation mode where they can see it without feeling that traumatic experience happening again.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's about reassuring you while you're in session. You are safe.
Yeah.
You are okay. And just that alone makes people feel calm. And so it's really helpful. And then they feel more excited to continue to explore what it is that they're exploring. Yeah.
I know, because then you'd be like, oh, was I somebody famous in a past life? Let's see, who was I? I mean, that's what I'd be more like curious, like, who was I? Was I this person or that person? But I can find that out. You never know. Yeah, I could go and check that out. So that's great.
Yeah.
So for someone who is, watching or listening to us today, who might be feeling, totally stuck with where they are, like they're listening to you talking about hypnotherapy and the fears and past lives and aliens and all the other things that we talked about, like what can you offer someone who is like, I don't even know where to start? Like, what do I need? What do I do?
Yeah, so I think the first step is if hypnosis is something that you're curious about, I always offer a preliminary introduction session.
Oh, that's helpful. Yes.
And that session is, we talk about everything. We go through what it is you're dealing with. I explain to you what hypnosis is like, and then you get a taste of what it's like. So you actually get to experience hypnosis for yourself.
Oh, that's great. That is great. Yeah.
And then we come up with a plan. Whatever it is, depending on what it is, we come up with a treatment plan. And I offer packages after that, and then, we go from there.
Yeah. And do you have something special you're going to be offering soon for your work, for your clients?
So currently, for Be Well Hypnotherapy and Healing, I'm offering a virtual container called Shifted. And this is for women who are feeling stuck in their life, who are ready for change, who are ready to take action in their life. And what this is you come into the container and you get a group hypnosis inside Telegram. So once a month I'll do a group hypnosis, and then every Friday you can drop in and leave little audio clips about what is something you're dealing with in your life. So you could be experiencing some sort of stress. You could be trying to get the courage to ask for promotion at work. You could be trying to get the courage to have a conversation with a family member. And what I do is offer these, what I call rapid rewires. So I will comment back in an audio clip, a little rapid rewire for you to use on your own, take back with you. And it'll just be really helpful to help you move forward in shifting and changing, your perspective of your life. And then also inside of that, there's this beautiful community. So you can have conversation with other women who are in the same position that you are.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. So you're actually you're not only listening to the person, what's going on in this container, but they're with you, they're working with you, they're also interacting with other group members as well. And then they have rapid rewire, which is sounds like an easy practical tool that they can use to address the specific issue. That's very powerful to be able to have all that.
Exactly. There's a lot in there. There's a lot for you. And even if I'm doing a rapid rewire for somebody else, you're going to get something from it too, because you might be going through something similar. So now you've got, there's 10 people dropping what they're going through that week. And now there's 10 different rapid rewires, and you can use all of them. They're all accessible to you.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wow. So how do people get a hold of you? How do they find you?
Yeah, so I'm on social media.
Yep.
At Be Well Hypno for Instagram, and then just my personal page, which is Jess Barber on Facebook. I also have a website, so that's bewellhypnotherapyhealing.com. So you can find me on there. Currently, Shifted will be launching in the fall.
Okay.
So there's a lot going on. I'm talking about it constantly. So if you're interested, definitely find me, because you'll get more information. Yeah, we're launching soon. And this container is a 4-month container.
Oh,
so it's a 4-month container. You pay monthly, and for 4 months you get, 4 group hypnosises and like 16 rapid rewires and full community support.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And they can also find you at
Apollo
Sunrise Center.
Yeah, I offer a variety of classes and workshops. Running a retreat currently with Leah and our other practitioner, Gina. We're doing Friday retreats in August. If you haven't seen, definitely check it out, because it's going to be pretty powerful. Yeah.
Yes, very powerful. Intensive retreats, as well as teaching people things like how to use the pendulum, right? If they want to use a pendulum for connecting with their spirit guides and learning, to trust their own intuition and connecting with their spirit guides. And, so there's lots of different classes that you teach, including just, not just, but getting Reiki as well, too.
Yes, I'm also a Reiki master healer. I love those sessions.
Yeah.
So if Reiki is something you're interested, I would be happy to work with you, because it's such a beautiful practice. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jess, for joining me today. This was wonderful.
It was so much fun. Thank you so much.
All right. And thank you for listening or watching us here today on Rise, Heal, and Grow with Leah M. Hill, and hope you catch us again next time, because we have lots of episodes coming up.